Okay, so we're talking about pronouns in our grammar book, and we are on page 13. So it says a pronoun replaces a noun in order to avoid repetition. So like if you're talking about a dog, you don't want to say the dog ran across the yard, the dog caught a squirrel, the dog saw a bird, the dogs, you know what I mean? It'd be boring to read something like that. So in order to have something replace the dog, if your dog is a boy, you would say he or him. And if it's a girl, she or her. So that's how it makes the writing a little bit easier to read because you're not repeating the same noun word over and over again. So look at this chart right here on page 13. And it's talking about singular and plural. So you've heard those words before, I'm sure. So singular means one, if you're talking about one dog. And then there's plural, could be two dogs or three dogs. And here it's saying the persons. So there's first person, second person, third person. So if you're talking first person, you are the first person. So you're saying I or me, right? If you're talking about something in first person, that's what that means. And if you're talking about somebody in second person, you're using the words you or your or yours, okay? And then if you're talking in third person, let's say you're making up a story about a character. And let's say that the character's name is Sonia. I just totally made that name up right now. And so let's say you're talking about Sonia, and Sonia is going to a birthday party. You're going to talk about her or she. And now this gives you other examples if you're talking about a boy or a thing. But that's how third person works. If you're talking about somebody outside of yourself and it's a completely different character you're talking about. And then, of course, here for plural, we use for more than one, we use we or us when you're talking about yourself and a group of people like you and your family, maybe you would say we or us. And then in second person, you're talking about somebody else. And then in third person, you're making up a whole different character, okay, that's completely separate than yourself. It's just a quick overview. We're going to go over this a lot more, but all of these words inside this box in the middle right here, those are all pronouns. And those you will use throughout your writing. Here's an example. The little man was thankful. He gave the soldiers the horn. It would help them. So where it has the PR, that stands for pronouns. So we have he, it, or them. Those are different pronouns in place of a noun. And then down below, we talk about capitalization. You guys are good about that. Usually always, it's the first word in the sentence. What's another time you need to capitalize something? Can you unmute and tell me, when do you capitalize a letter in a word?
Somebody's name.
Somebody's name. Good. What else?
Or at the start of a sentence.
Start of the sentence. Cassie, what else?
A place.
A place. Good. Like the name of a city. And go ahead, Christian. You have an idea?
If I is just by itself.
Good. If I is by itself. Excellent. You guys got it. You know that. Okay, now let's go ahead and turn to our page we're going to work on together. This is page 15. And you guys are pretty good at this. And by the way, I know some people are still having trouble uploading the homework. I'm going to do another video about that too and post it on the stream. But anyway, so I did have a chance to see your homework, and you guys are doing really, really good at this, marking up the sentence and then rewriting it at the bottom. So I'm not worried about you because you know what you're doing. That's a good thing. So let's look at the top here. It says read it. That's always the first thing. Do I have any volunteers to read this sentence right here? Okay, Alexis, go ahead and read that sentence to us.
He told the little man about their problem.
Okay, good. He told the little man about their problem. All right, so what is the vocabulary word in that sentence? If you know what it is, Go ahead and unmute and tell me, what is the vocabulary word?
Problem.
Good. How did you guys know it was problem?
Because it's, well, the one that's shaded in.
Yeah, it's in bold or it's darker than the rest of the words in the sentence. So that's a clue. That is a big clue that that is a vocabulary word. And I think Alex just joined us. So good job, Alex.
On my laptop, it had no Wi-Fi, so I came in a little late.
That's all right. I'm glad you're here. I recorded the first part of the class if you need to go back and listen to that part. So you're okay. All right. So we just read the sentence. We talked about what is a problem. Does anybody know how to define that vocabulary word? How would you explain what a problem is?
What book are we on right now?
We are on the grammar book on page 15. Grammar book, page 15. Who can define problem for us? Go ahead, Christian. What does that mean, problem?
When something happens, like something bad, or something.
Okay. When something happens, maybe it's something difficult, like you're having an issue or a problem with something. Good. That's right. When something happens like that. So maybe the other day I was trying to open a jar of jam and I was having a problem because I couldn't undo the lid. It was too tight. So it's something that's difficult. Good. All right, moving on. We're going to put a little check mark there by the vocabulary because we read the sentence, we checked the word. Now we know what the word means. We're going to go here to mark it. Remember, article, go ahead and write it up here at the top, is a and the. Those are the articles. We've talked about those a couple of times in other classes. So what article? There's only one. Which one do you see in this sentence?
The.
Okay, good. And Cassie, I saw your hand up. That's okay. You were probably going to say the same thing, but above the word the, let's put AR for article. So we already got that one. That's easy. And now we need two nouns. So let's see. Cassie, tell me one of the nouns that you see in the sentence.
Man.
Man, good. We're going to put it in there because that's a person. How about Delilah? Can you take a guess at another noun in the sentence? It's kind of tricky. If you don't know, it's okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's okay.
I can think.
Another noun in the sentence. How about Serena?
Veil.
That's a good guess, but that's actually a pronoun.
That's probably this.
That's a pronoun. That's pretty close though. So actually, one more guess. Cassie, do you know what it is?
Problem.
Problem. That's actually a noun because it's a kind of thing when you have a difficult situation, right? So that's actually a noun. So you're right. Man and problem. We're going to put a little check by that. The other ones, and that's how you would check. It's, he, he and there are pronouns. The only other words that are left don't really sound like a noun. So problem is the noun there. And then pronouns. We just talked about that a little while ago. So that takes the place of a noun. And those are things like she and they and it. So let's see. Delilah, do you see a pronoun in this sentence?
Not really.
Something that takes the place of a noun. So like if you're talking about a boy.
I think it's little.
No. That's close, but that's actually an adjective that's describing. So it was a good guess though, Delilah. I'm glad you're trying. That's good. I'm glad you're not just quiet about it. I do see, let's see, I see Christian's got his hand up. Christian, what do you think?
He.
That's right. He, good. So let's put PR right there above he. And then there's one more. Alex, did you have your hand up?
Yeah. About.
No. Pronoun describes another noun, or it takes the place of another noun. So Cassie,
There.
yes, you got it. There you go, pronoun. So there takes the place of a noun from the sentence before. So the sentence before must have more than one person they're talking about. So that's why we have the word there, because that usually is a pronoun to use for a plural noun. Okay, so we're done with that, Liz. Now we're going over to fix it. We need to make one capital. I bet Delilah can tell us which one needs to be capital in this sentence.
It's the one that he is got.
Yes. Yes, because it's the beginning, right? Yeah. Good job. And that we're going to just do 3 lines underneath. And then Wyatt, what do we need at the end of our sentence? The very end.
A period.
A period. Good job, you guys. And now we've done all of the things at the top of our page here. I like to put little check marks by each thing just to keep track. So that's okay when you do that on your homework. And now just take a minute and rewrite this sentence. Make sure you make that a capital H down here. And make sure you put your period. So go ahead and write it down at the bottom. And then make sure you have a period at the very end. That word there, by the way, is referring to the soldiers that we were reading about during your homework. So that's why it's there. It's referring to more than one soldier. Okay, thumbs up if you got your sentence down. You finished your sentence. Good, I see those thumbs. A couple people still working. I'll give you one more minute here. Okay. Okay, if you didn't quite finish it, you can finish that later, okay? We're going to move on to the next thing. By the way, your homework this week will be page 16, 17, and 18 in your grammar book, okay? 16, 17, and 18. That's part of your homework, and then we have a little bit other things to do for your homework, but I want to make sure to tell you that about your grammar. So now we're done with that one. You can put your grammar book aside. And I know you worked on your Scorpion keyword outline this week, so go ahead and get that back out. Like I said at the very beginning, I just want to remind you, our binder, we need to really get into organizing that, and it's going to take some time. So rather than doing that during class time, I will do that on a video. I will explain to you what you need to do with your binder, where the pages go, and that way you can pause it. Like I'll do step by step, and then you can pause it and fix your binder for that section, and then you can play it again. So I figured that would be way easier than trying to do it on Zoom, because it's a lot of papers to move around and it's kind of hard to see on Zoom. So I'll make sure to do that video. Then you can keep your binder super organized so you can find everything really fast. Okay. You should have in front of you your Scorpion keyword outline. Let me grab my paper really quick. And we've been practicing reading a story, and then making a keyword outline, finding those keywords in the story, right? That's what we've been working on. And we're going to keep working on that for a little bit. Let me focus this really quick. There we go. We're going to keep working on that, but now we're going to start transitioning into rewriting the story. And that's going to be pretty fun because you get to make it your own and it's actually written out. So we've been just doing practices with the outline and then retelling the story. So I'm going to show you how we're going to actually write the story. Just keep your Scorpion outline in front of you for the moment. And I'm just going to show you something on my screen here. I don't want you to write this down yet. Okay, so just watch. We're just going to watch this part. And then we're going to talk about it. So don't write anything on your paper, just watch. Okay. When we write our stories, I want you to always put your name on your paper. Don't do this yet. You're just going to watch me, okay? But you're always going to put your name here, like we've been practicing. And then the date. You don't have to write this down yet, okay? I'm just going to show you something. Today is the 20th. And then don't do this yet. You're just watching. I'm going to draw a line right here and I'm going to leave it blank. And that's going to be the title of your writing. Okay, so you don't need to write this yet. You're just going to watch me and then I'm going to tell you what to do next. Okay, so I'm going to leave that blank because it's kind of fun to find a title of a story that's special and interesting. And that actually is, when you go look for a book in the library and you look at all the titles of the books, usually the library books are lined up and you see the end of the book sticking out. And it's when they're all together like that and you're reading the titles, you're looking for a title that kind of grabs your attention, right? Maybe you're interested in learning about snakes or something, and you're looking at the titles, that's interesting. And then you see a title that says something like, the most dangerous and vicious snake in the world. And you go, ooh, that one kind of stands out because I want to know what that snake is. That's kind of cool. Because next to it, it might say garden snake or rattlesnake or, and those are cool. But I mean, it's like you don't really see a whole lot in the title when it's just telling the snake. But if you see that title, the most dangerous snake in the whole wide world, that would be interesting. So you would probably want to grab that one. So that's the point of picking a title. You're watching me. You don't have to write this down. Okay. And then let's pretend for a second, I'm just going to scribble, and I don't want you to do this. I'm just want you to watch me. Okay. Just watch me do this, but I'm going to pretend like I'm writing my story. So I'm just going to do like a little T. I indented here, by the way, and then I'm going to pretend like that's a word. That's a word that I'm writing my story, and I'm writing about my scorpions. And then I get to the end of this line, and then I'm going to skip. I'm going to put an X there because I'm going to skip a line. And then I'm going to finish my sentence, and there's my period. And then I'm going to start a new sentence. How do I start a new sentence? What do I need for my first letter?
Capital letter.
Capital letter. So I'm going to just pretend like it's a word that starts with C, blah, blah, blah. And I'm writing about scorpions or blah, 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 blah. I skip a line. Keep writing, put a period. My next sentence, I start with a
S.
A capital letter. We'll say S just for fun. So we're pretending these are all my words. I get to the end of my line here. Now I'm going to do what? Skip a line. And then I keep writing, blah, 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 blah. I get to the end of this line. Then I'm going to do what? Skip a line. There you go. Now you're getting it. And then I'm going to write a new sentence here. It's going to start with R. Blah, 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 blah. Writing, writing, writing. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you an example. I get to the end of the line and then I'm going to
Yeah.
skip. Okay, all these little X's right here means I'm skipping those lines. So you're used to doing line by line by line by line when you write your story, but I want you to skip lines this time. And it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge for you. That's okay. If you need to put a little tiny X there to remind you, that's okay. I want you to skip a line because there's something really important I'm going to show you here. And I see your hand, Alex. Did you have a question?
Yes, I've actually been writing like that.
Good. I'm glad. And maybe some of you have done that before. That's good. And it really helps to make it clear and easy to follow. The other thing I'm going to tell you, okay, Wyatt, I see your hand there. Go ahead and ask your question.
When my mom like gives me an assignment to do to like write a essay, she always asks me to skip a line so she can read it.
You've done that like
Good. Okay, good. So some of you are already familiar with this, which is excellent. That'll make it even easier for you. Okay, here's another rule about your writing in my class. And this one's going to be kind of hard for some of you, but I want you to actually use a pen when you're writing your story. And the reason is because I don't want you to erase. I know that's going to be like, what? Sometimes I make a mistake and I spell the word wrong and I don't know how to fix it. And then I have to erase my word because it's spelled wrong and I don't like it that it's spelled wrong and it looks bad and I want to fix it. And if you're writing with a pen, it's hard to fix that, right? It's hard you can't erase it. Now, I'm going to tell you this before you freak out. So nobody freak out in here, okay? Because if you just can't stand writing with a pen, I will let you use a pencil, but I still do not want you to erase at all, okay? You cannot erase. That's a rule with this part of the class because we're going to learn how to draw a line through something. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect the first time through, because I know some of you are already having panic attacks inside. Like, what if I don't get it right the first time? It's okay. So let's pretend I'm looking back here and I go, oh man, I don't like this word. And I would rather use a different word, but I already wrote it. And my teacher said I can't erase it. So what am I going to do? So then I'm going to just draw a line. We're going to pretend like this word I'm going to change right here. I'm just going to draw one line through it. And then I'm going to write it the right way above it. Okay, I'm just using squiggles right now just for an example. That's why you're skipping lines, so that you have space now to fix things. But I don't want you to erase, because what happens is, and I know some of you have this struggle. What happens is if you keep erasing, then you're erasing and you're fixing and you're erasing and you're fixing and you're erasing and you're fixing. And two things could happen. One, you erase a hole in your paper. Has that ever happened to anybody here before? You erase so much, there's actually a hole that happens. Okay. Or you're erasing, but now you don't have enough room to put what you really want. So you have to erase the whole sentence so you can move it down, and you're just erasing and you feel like you're spending all this time erasing and fixing. Well, this will solve that problem. Okay. So no erasing, and you're going to use a pen that'll help you, because then you won't be tempted to erase. Okay. So if you make a mistake or you want to change it, by the way, this class, we're not really concerned about spelling so much, because we're not really learning spelling in this class. So if you see a word that doesn't look right, it's okay. You can just leave it. We're going to do spelling with your parents or your grandparents at home at a different time. Okay. This is more about how to get your writing to be nice as far as interesting, right? And fun to read, and that somebody would want to read it. So that's what this class is about, is really making your writing more fun and interesting to read. So if you want to change a word, you draw a line through it and you put what you want above it. And then if you want to add a word, let's say you go back and you read it to yourself and you're like, oh man, I forgot the word the. You can draw what's called a little caret like that. And then you can write in the word that you're missing in that sentence. So you can draw a little caret and use that space in between to put the word that you forgot. That's okay to do that. Let's pretend for one more thing, okay? Let's pretend you wanted to move a word. So you like the word, you want to keep the word, but you don't like where it's at in the sentence. So what you can do is circle the word and then draw an arrow if you need to move a word. So the reason why I'm showing you all of this is because this is why we're skipping lines. So when you write your story, you're skipping lines so that you can fix things as you go. Now, this is really important for you to learn, to not erase. It's okay. My paper kind of looks messy right now, right? That's actually a good thing. I actually want your paper to be messy. I bet you never thought you'd hear that from a teacher.
What?
What? Exactly. I want to see that you've moved things around and you're fixing things and you're adding things. So I'm showing you an overview here. This is a good thing. I don't expect it to be beautiful and perfect and clean and everything exactly precise. Okay. We will work on that as we go. But for now, I expect your papers to be kind of messy, right? So that's okay. That's actually what I'm looking for. So this is just a kind of an example, a model of how your paper is going to look, although yours is going to have real words, right? Mine's just scribbles because I was just showing an example of that. Okay. Oh, one more thing I forgot to tell you. Let's pretend that you saw this word up here and you decided, I'm going to take that word out. I'm going to just take it out. And you cross it out and then you go, oh, wait, that's not the one I wanted to cross out. I actually want to keep that word. And now you drew a line through it. Well, there's a couple things you can do, but what I'm going to tell you is best is to just circle it. And then you can put okay at the top. Like you forgot, oh, wait, I really do want that word. That's okay. And then let's say you decide you're having one of those days where you can't make a decision, right? Sometimes those days are hard. Like I do, I don't, yes, no, I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. So I like it. Okay, never mind. I don't like it. So I'm going to scribble out okay. Wait, now I do like it. I'm going to put okay back. So those are the things I'm telling you. It's okay. It really is okay that your paper gets messy like this. That tells me you're thinking and you're really looking at the words that you put down and you're thinking, do I want this? Do I not want this? Yes, I do. I like it. And no, I want to change this. Okay, so I just want you to get that in your head as we go. That's okay. And that's actually what I want. I want to see a messy paper. What? It's true. All right. Now I'm going to take this away for a second here. And now I want you to get out a clean piece of paper and a pen if you have it. It's okay if you only have a pencil. You can use a pencil, but don't erase. Okay, that's something you're going to have to really practice in this class. And there's a reason for it. Because like I said earlier, you could spend so much time erasing and then it's frustrating. And we're trying to avoid writing is always, it's not always a fun thing to do. And so we want to take away all the frustration we can out of it. And just know that I like to see lines and when you draw out a line or add a word and, it's okay to have all those marks on your paper. So like I said earlier, now you get to do your paper. So let's go ahead and put your name here at the top, right next to the red line. So go ahead and write your name down. And then underneath that, and this is the only time we're not going to skip a line, is right at the top where you put your date. So September 20th, 2022. That's the only time you don't skip a line, but now you're going to be skipping lines. So go ahead and get your name and your date on there. Okay. And now this time for the title, we're going to skip a line. And then I just want you to draw right along the blue line on your paper, a straight line. You don't have to write anything on that. We're going to leave that blank for now. That is going to become the title of your story. But for now, it's blank. So Alex, did you have a question? Oh, you're still on mute.
Are we supposed to write our last name too on it?
Yes, please write your first and last name at the top, right here. First and last name. You know, just in case it's ever a windy day and you go outside and you're kind of near other students or something, I don't know, and your paper blows away and you're like, oh my goodness, is this Alex Lopez or is this Alex Molina? Wait, what's your last name, Alex? I know it starts
Mora.
Mora. Yes. So that way they know who you are. All right. That was just an example. So here we have a blank for the title, and then you're going to skip actually 2 lines right here. So go ahead and draw in 2 little tiny X's on the next 2 lines, because you want to make sure the title is separate than your story. So it looks like it's by itself there. Okay. Does everybody's paper look like mine so far? And it's okay to use those little X's to remind you to skip lines. This part, we only skipped 1 line right here. So we skipped 1 line here, and then we skipped 2 lines here. Okay. And it's okay to write those X's in so that you can remember. Now, before we go into the writing, I want you to look at your keyword outline from Scorpions. And you should have on your first Roman numeral 1 on your outline, it should say something like scorpions, comma, not, comma, insects. Is that what yours says? Give me a thumbs up if that's what yours says on your outline. Scorpion, good. Scorpion, comma, or scorpions, a plural, comma, not, comma, insects. So you got those 3 words, good. So Wyatt, can you tell us a sentence, a full sentence using those keywords from your outline?
Scorpions are not insects.
Scorpions are not insects. That's a perfect sentence to start with. So we did these 2 little X's, so we're skipping those lines. So that means we're going to this line, but it's a paragraph, so we need to indent. So move over a little bit, and we're going to start with the word scorpions. So go ahead about right here. I'm going to write the word scorpions, and you can copy this down. Are not insects. Period. See that little space right there? That means I indented. And that's what you do at the beginning of your paragraphs.
Is that an R in between score? I mean, at O and C. I mean, O and P.
Here, let me zoom in a little bit. Yes, it's an OR. Scoot this over a little bit. Okay, so now look at the regular number 1 on your keyword outline. And now I'm going to pick Alexis. For the next sentence, look at your outline and first tell us what 3 keywords do you have on your outline?
Which one?
Okay, not Roman numeral 1, because we already did that one. So the next one underneath that, which would be like a regular number 1 on your outline.
Read number 2. Read number 1.
Okay, 1 second.
It should say something like arachnids, and it should say maybe a number 8 with a little leg.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
They are arachnids. They have 8 legs, 2 pinchers, and a barbed tail.
okay, so you gave me 2 sentences. Can you make that into 1 sentence?
What do you mean?
Because you said they are arachnids, and then you said they have 8 legs, 2 pinchers, and a barbed tail. Those are 2 sentences that you said. So can you combine all of that and make it into 1 sentence?
Okay.
Maybe you could say they are arachnids and they have, you can tell us the rest of the sentence. And then that way it's 1 sentence. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So for the next sentence, and everybody can write this down, and you might end on a different word on your line. So it's not going to look exactly like mine, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a new sentence with a capital. They are, and now I'm going to move down. I'm going to skip a line. So put a tiny little X. You might have more room on your first line there. So go all the way till you see this little red light line here. You see this line on the edge of my paper? Don't go past that, okay? Because that you're getting into the margin. So you want to keep between the dark red line on this side and the light red line on the other side. That's your area where you're writing. So you might have more room up here to write the word arachnids. I'm going to actually move down here, skip a line, and write arachnids here. They are arachnids and they have 8 legs. This is where we're going to list some things. So I'm going to use some commas here. 2 pinchers. Now notice I went a little bit over that red line. That's okay to go a little bit, but you don't want to go all the way to the edge of the paper. Okay, so it's okay to go a little bit. 2 pinchers. Now I'm coming down here. I'm going to skip a line, put my little tiny X to remind me. 2 pinchers and a barbed tail. All right, so we have our first 2 sentences here. Scorpions are not insects. They are arachnids and they have 8 legs, 2 pinchers, and a barbed tail. There's other ways you can write this. Like I could have said they are arachnids with 8 legs. I could have done with instead of and they have, so that it's not exact. So you put it how you want to write that. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you're skipping lines here. Make sure you skip lines in between. So see how much space I have now? And that's how yours should look. Give me a thumbs up if yours looks like kind of like mine or similar to mine. Give me a thumbs up. I see Wyatt. Good job. Give me a thumbs up if yours looks like mine. You got these 2 sentences. Good. I see Delilah. And you've got good Serena. Good Alexis. And Cassie, did you get it, that too? Thumbs up. Awesome. Christian, how's yours coming? Got it? Yours is good. Okay. So we've got our 2 sentences. Let's move on. Let's see if Serena, can you help us with the next sentence, which on your outline, it should be a regular number 2 or yeah, regular number 2. And it should say something like 2000 and species. Is that what yours says, Serena? On your outline? You know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Tell me the 3 words first that you have on your outline. What are the 3 words you wrote down for the regular number 3?
2,000
Okay.
scorpion species.
Okay, perfect. So now tell us in words a sentence using those 3 keywords that you wrote down there.
There are over 2,000 scorpion species.
Perfect. Nice job. So now we're going to add that sentence here. You guys need to write it in after the period. So she said, there are over, and I'm going to fit the number 2,000. I'm going to skip my line. So a little tiny X there to remind me, skip a line. Species of scorpions, period. Good. Okay, let's go to Christian. We got our next sentence. Now you should be on number 3, right? We have Roman numeral 1, and then we have a regular 1, 2, 3. On your outline, it should say something like found and continent. Tell us your 3 words that you have for the regular number 3 on your outline, Christian.
Well, I did just start the next sentence.
Okay. You want to tell us the sentence?
Let's see. They are found on every continent except Antarctica.
Okay, perfect. Good. That's the next sentence. So go ahead and write that in. You guys need to be writing this down. So Cassie, get ready. They are found on, I'm going to skip my line, put my little X here, every continent except Antarctica. Now remember, Antarctica is the name of a continent, so we need to make sure to put a capital there. Are you writing this down, Alexis? You write this down, and it's okay to put little X's there to remind you to skip a line. So like I said earlier, your handwriting might be bigger than mine or smaller than mine. So on the edge here, you might end up with a different word on the end. That's okay. Make sure you write the whole sentence and make sure you're skipping lines, okay? That's what we're learning today, is skipping lines and actually writing down the sentences that you're from your keyword outline. Okay, while you guys are finishing that up, I'm going to go to Wyatt. Can you do on your keyword outline, your regular number 4 should say something like venomous and then something about kill. And can you tell us a sentence using your 3 words from your keyword outline for that regular number 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scorpions venom kills 30 adults. Can kill over 30 adults.
Okay, good. Try it one more time, the whole sentence one more time.
Scorpion's venom can kill over 30 adults.
Good. Scorpions, and that's going to have an apostrophe because you're talking about their venom, right? So scorpions venom, and we're skipping a line, can kill over 30 adults. Was that your sentence? Scorpions venom can kill over 30 adults?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Period. Awesome. Getting through this. We're almost through the whole thing. Now we're on to the regular number 5. So Delilah, look at your keyword outline for number 5 on your outline. You should see words like sting and paralyze. Do you see those words on your outline? It'd be next to the number 5 on your outline that you did for homework.
So string, paralyze, and pray.
Okay, so use those 3 words and make a sentence. Can you say a sentence using those 3 words?
Yeah.
Go ahead when you're ready. Tell us a sentence using those 3 words.
Okay. So the scorpions can have string and paralyze a person, and they prey animal, or they have, or some of the people are prey to them.
Okay, you're really close. It's kind of a lot of words for a sentence, but let's talk about that word pray really quick. It's not P-R-A-Y, right? That's when we pray to God. This is P-R-E-Y, and this is what the scorpions eat, right? So, or not necessarily eat, who they want to sting or attack, okay? So we have sting, paralyze, and pray. So how could we use those 3 words into a shorter sentence? Delilah, try that one more time.
Scorpions can sting a person, and they paralyze them, and that's their prey then.
Okay, you're getting there. You're on the right track with that. The only thing is you have a lot of words in your sentence. That would be a lot to write down if we wrote down every one of those words. So let's start with what you started with. You said scorpions can sting. Is that how you started it? Yeah. Okay. So let's start with that. Scorpions.
Okay.
And then I'm going to skip my line and come down here. Can sting. And what happens when they sting, Delilah? What happens to their bodies? What was that other word you used?
Paralyze.
Paralyzed. Do you guys remember what that word means? Alex, do you remember what paralyzed means?
Oh, yes.
What does it mean?
It means like weaken them or kill them.
Good. Okay. Scorpions can sting and paralyze and that's talking about the scorpions. And what was the last word, Delilah, on your keyword outline? Because you were talking about people, but really it's that other word, prey. Good. So P-R-E-Y. Scorpions can sting and paralyze their prey, period. That was good, Delilah. I know you were using a lot of words, but we got to make sure we don't want it to be and, the, and then. So we got to take away all those extra words and try to just get down to a simple sentence. But you were on the right track. You did a great job. And let me see who I haven't talked to a little bit. Cassie, let's go to you. So on your outline for your regular number 6, you should have something like little and air. Tell us a sentence using those words from your outline.
Okay.
And if you forget, we can peek back to the original story if that helps you too. So go ahead.
Scorpions need little air and food to survive.
Okay, good. So that was a perfect sentence, but rather than starting with scorpions again, we're going to use another pronoun here because we said scorpions here and then we said scorpions. So we need a pronoun, and I'm going to skip a line and use the pronoun they. so that we're not repeating. We talked about that earlier because pronouns are important to use so that it's not the same words over and over and over again. So you said they need, how did you say it again?
They need a little air. They need a little air and food to survive.
Okay, go ahead and write that down. They need little air and food to survive. Okay, so I'm going to pause there for a second, and I'm just going to read out loud, and you can look at yours and make sure that yours sounds just like mine. And the other thing I want you to check is that you skipped lines for every line that you wrote. Okay, so I'm going to read it, and you look at yours and make sure it sounds the same. Scorpions are not insects, they are arachnids, and they have 8 legs, 2 pinchers, and a barbed tail. There are over 2,000 species of scorpions. They are found on every continent except Antarctica. Scorpions' venom can kill over 30 adults. Scorpions can sting and paralyze their prey. They need little air and food to survive. Give me a thumbs up if yours was exactly like that in the camera. Good, good. Okay, good. Wyatt, I see yours. Delilah, all of a sudden I don't see you anymore. Okay, good. Serena and Christian.
My camera fell, that's why.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do because we're already out of time for class. It went by so fast. So for your homework now, you're going to finish this, writing it out on the paper. So we're still working with scorpions. So make sure you keep track of that keyword outline. You need to use it to finish. We got all the way through number 6 on your outline. You're going to do number 7, 8, and 9 and finish those 3 sentences at the bottom here. And then I'll give you more instructions on the Google Classroom, but you're going to finish writing that and then go back and look at it. And if you have anything you want to change, like I showed you earlier, that you want to take out a word and put a different word in place of that, like for instance, and we can do this together just so that we can practice this part. Right here, I have scorpions, venom. Actually, let me go up to this one right here, the second sentence. They are arachnids and they have 8 legs. So let's say I want to change that. So let's practice this together. Instead of saying, and they have, I want to take that out and put with. So with your pen, I want you to just draw one line through, and they have. It's in the second sentence, right where mine is. And you're just going to draw a line, and then right above that, you always want to put the word you fix above that. Let's put the word with. There's an example of changing something. When you go back and read your story and you decide, that's too many words. I don't want to use all those words. I want to change it to with. So now it says they are arachnids with 8 legs, 2 pinchers, and a barbed tail. That's a little bit more precise in that sentence.
Do
So
we have to do that?
yes, you have to. I know this is hard. It's painful.
Wait,
because
right
you're
now?
used
Like,
to-
do it right now?
Yep, do it right now. Yes, Alex. And I know normally you would erase it nice and neat and clean, and then you would write the word with there because that makes you feel better. But I'm telling you, I want to see you do this. So I want to see a messy paper. I'm not talking about your handwriting. I don't want your handwriting to be messy. You need to keep your handwriting nice. But if you're drawing lines and you're changing words and you're moving words, that's okay. Those are good things to do in this class. Okay. So that's just practicing there. And so your homework is going to be to finish this. And then if you have anything you want to fix or change in there, go ahead and do that for your homework. You don't have to on all the sentences, but if you go back and you see like here, I have scorpions and scorpions 2 times in a row, I might move this one and change this one to they, or I might want to add another, might want to use the word venomous, that rather than venom, I can fix that, I can change that. That's up to you. Okay. But the point of your homework though is to finish writing out this story from your keyword outline, and then you're going to bring it to class next week, and then we're going to pick a title together. So leave this part blank. You don't have to put a title yet because we're learning how to do that together. Okay. And then we'll move on to the next story after that. But so your homework is those 3 pages in grammar. And then you're going to finish writing this from your keyword outline, and make sure you read it to your mom or your grandma or dad or whoever's at home. Read it to them. Last time you just told them the story, right? This time you're going to actually read it, because what happens is I bet you'll forget something or read it and then you'll go, wait, that's not what I wanted to say. And then you can go back and fix it. You have plenty of space now. You can fix things. Okay, Alex, did you have a question or did you already ask me your question? You're good. Anybody else have any questions or anything you
already
want
asked
to
you
say?
my
Okay.
question.
Anybody else have anything, questions or anything to say about what you need to do for homework? Okay, look for a video from me this week about how to organize your binder. And then look for a video about how to upload your pictures, because there's still people struggling with that. So look for 2 videos on the stream this week. Christian?
So my question is about what is this in the back of the binder? What the?
Is it blank?
Yeah.
It must just be extra scratch paper for you. Just keep it back there in case we need it later. I'm not sure why it's there. Alex?
About the video, or do you send that us to, like, do you send it to us through Google Classroom?
Yeah, so remember how I showed you Google Classroom has that stream at that's one of the
Okay, yeah.
tabs. That's where the video will be, on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll see it there. Anybody else have any other questions? No. And that's it for today. So you got your homework assignment. I'll be posting the homework on Google Classroom later today. And then, like I said, look for those videos this week. And anybody that needs to stay after, I know I was going to talk to Rainey, Delilah's mom. If anybody else needs to stay on and ask questions, you can stay on for a few minutes. So the rest of you, if you're all done, I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day, you guys. See you next
Bye.
time. Bye.